Hi there. I just got off the call with a student in California who was doing an hour lesson with me before going to work. It's very impressive. So this was his first real Gaelic lesson. He's studied a bit on his own, a little bit, made some flashcards, watched some of my videos, and that's really it. So he's really just starting out. And he booked a full hour lesson, and we start off with, where you're from, where do you live? And then when I heard he lived in California, I wanted to know more. So we started talking about what there is there. And this is in Gaelic, too. Granted, Tayin and Parkin and Buan, he didn't have them yet, so I provided them. But then he took them in stride and started using them himself without much difficulty. I could understand him very clearly, and he was using them quite accurately. So we're talking about what there is in Placentia, California. And there's lots of houses, there's lots of parks, there's lots of shops. It's very much a suburb, it's a residential community. And then I wanted to know what's nearby. So we talked about the mountains and the beach and what they're like. There's some small mountains, there's some big mountains there. And the beach is actually quite big. It's a Trevor, right? And then I wanted to know, what's his opinion about it? So he was telling me, actually, he prefers the mountains. He thinks they're prettier, they're more beautiful than the beach, although both are nice. And throughout this lesson, he was asking for little conversational phrases. I would call them rejoinders. Like, oh, that's right. Or, oh no, in my opinion. Or, like, yeah, indeed. He was asking for those, and he was using them, too, on his own. It was very impressive to see. So by the end of the hour-long lesson, he was able to read a full paragraph. I would say there's at least 10 sentences in it, using all of this content here. He was able to understand it like that, no problem. And he was able to ask questions about, he was noticing different patterns within the Gaelic after one lesson. And he was using comparatives. Granted, I didn't throw every single comparative at him because that's not very appropriate. However, he was able to use comparatives as well as just normal adjectives and plural adjectives too. It was all a natural part of the conversation, and he used them naturally, and he understood them naturally and quickly. So it really, really struck me, it warmed my heart really, to see that he was able to take concepts that are often thought as too advanced for beginners. This is his first Gaelic lesson. He was able to use comparatives, no problem. These are often thought as too difficult for students. Well, actually they're not. If they're used in a meaningful context, in a real conversation with a human, and presented in a way that are clear. He was able to do it no problem, and you can too. I firmly believe anyone can use complex Gaelic language if it's presented clearly, naturally, and appropriately. Here's the proof. So this was a great way to start the day. I feel quite jazzed, quite energized. It's a happy way to start as a teacher for sure. And it's wonderful to see a student just really take so much in stride, understand so much, and really be wanting to use so much and to be able to do it too, be able to use it. Not only wanting to use it, but to successfully use it. So he's off to a great start. I really look forward to our next lesson together. Okay. Wanted to share a bit of his success with you. And you can do this too. If you understand the Gaelic that you hear and read, get a lot of repetition with it, and don't get on your own case. Don't give yourself a hard time. Be kind to yourself as you do it. You can do this too. No problem. Leva.